Howdy folks, Brian Cusco here at Triple B, and today we've got Joe from JSA for you. We're at the Tinley Park Reptile Show now, and I'm hoping to get several interviews here. It's been a little bit of a hectic show. I got to take off earlier than I would like to, but it is what it is, and luckily we got Joe to come sit down. Joe and I have been talking about doing this for literally years, so I'm super happy that he's finally able to come sit down with me, and we're going to get into it. You're watching Triple B TV.
You know, I see you put everything out, you know, feelings and how you think the industry is moving forward. And I mean, we agree with you. You know, my wife and I, we talk all the time about if we would have met the wrong people 12 years ago when we got in, we would have never been in the industry. You know, the people that we talked to at first, the people that got us in, helped us, answered questions, reached out to us, checked on us. People don't seem to, there's certain people out there that don't seem to do that anymore. Like, they want to be negative. Everything wants to, you know, nothing's going right. Everything's just, you know, there's no upside. We were very fortunate to have good people behind us, pushing us forward, helping us. So we try to do the same thing, but I see your videos, you know, kind of how you put the positive attitude, the positive spin on things, you know, so we just need more of that. But not doing enough social media or not putting myself out there more. You know, we try to do it with our customers, but I see there's not enough of it. You know, the industry is so big and it's growing, there just needs to be more positive spin.
Well, the thing I came to realize just recently, and I feel like I go back and forth between realizing it and forgetting it, is that you can't really expect everybody to get along all the time.
Oh, yeah. There's always going to be conflict. There's always going to be, you know, pricing animals. You know, somebody wants to sell it at this, somebody thinks it's worth this. You're always going to have that, but we got to learn how to handle it better. Yeah. You know, learn how to see both sides of things, see the other side, see the other story, the other point of view, and handle it better, and not rush to social media to always post the negative stuff.
Well, that's just like what you were saying about how you do that with your customers, and that's where it's most important, or that's where it is easier for that to not get, that miscommunication to not happen, is when you're face to face. So if you have an issue with somebody, you have it face to face, and then instead of turning it into a dumpster fire online. And that was the big, because I know you were saying that you're asking Dave like how I was doing, concerned about how I was doing. I'm doing great. Like I'm doing fine. It was just, you know, that the negativity that gets out there, just I'm sensitive to it. I'm super sensitive to it.
Right. And I think a big part of the community is, so to me it's nice because in my mind I can go, you know what, things aren't maybe going the best way, or there's some negativity, or maybe we're having something that didn't go quite right. I can go to your channel and pull it up, and it's something positive. It's a spin. It's always going the new thing or the right direction. So then I'm like, things are good. You know, that we don't have to, you know, it's not that direction. There's always the other side of it. You just got to get through whatever little thing you're dealing with, and you know, it's not that big of a deal. We can push through it, and it'll be positive on the other end.
Good. I'm glad they have that effect.
We love the channel, man.
Sometimes before I put them out, I'm like, I don't know. I always have apprehension like this. I feel like am I digging too deep here? Like, what's happening? But
well, that was the other part of it. So, to me, I don't think I could ever do like what you do. You put it out on social media, and because it comes natural to you, and it reads that way. So anybody that watches it, you instantly feel the connection to yourself. You know, like Dave, Emily, the people that do the channel, you can see the positive vibe, that you love it. You're reaching out, you know, you're trying to help things, you're trying to change things, and you can see there's other people that do it because somebody told them they need to do more social media, they need to do a YouTube channel, but they're not that good at it, or it just doesn't translate. You know what I mean? So it's nice to have the people out there that are always pushing the industry forward, trying to be positive, and just doing the right thing.
I agree. Well, dude, we've been talking about doing this for like years now, I think.
Yeah, COVID got in the way. Just the show is kind of hard to make it line up, but it's been a long time coming.
Well, to be fair, at shows it's always busy, and that's the one struggle.
Right.
But this is my greatest place to sit down with
and
people
talk
in
to
the
everybody.
industry.
Yeah.
But then everybody's got their customers. So it's like this balance of like, don't want to take you away for too long from your table, and like. But can you please just tell me a brief history, if you will, of JSA?
So kind of, the typical story, that a lot of us have. Just been into reptiles my whole life. As a little kid, chasing garter snakes, frogs, all that stuff. So I think I might have been 6 or 7 years old. Had the opportunity to go to Gatorland in Florida, and that was it. Got to hold alligators, touch out, that kind of stuff, and I was just hooked. So got through life. I was a union carpenter for 22 years. And then doing this on the side. And then just last year I was able to go full time.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
Had the whole full support of the family in the business with us, cleaning rats, cleaning snakes, pushed it to where it is. So we were very, very lucky to get to where we are and then to be able to do it full time. It was weird because the animals and the reptiles were always a big deal to me. But like maybe the rest of the family didn't have that same love for the reptiles. They have love of animals, more of the furry, cute dogs, cats, whatever, but they didn't even hesitate. They jumped right in, said, hey, what can we do? So we just started building the business, and 4 years ago, bought a house on 2.5 acres, built our facility, and it just keeps growing every year. It's been awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And what's up with JSA lights?
So that was another one. We started coming to Tinley as a customer, and that was kind of the first thing I saw was everybody was struggling. They used to use the PVC pipes, over there was just no good way to light up the table. That was just always in your face. It was either at eye level and you're trying to do the duck thing, and so my brother's a machinist. So one day I basically called them and we went to Menards and stood in their they got aluminum and all that kind of stuff, metal. And I said, we got to be able to figure out a way for better lighting. So we just sat down, drew it up, figured it out. I actually talked with JD, and he kind of helped us with a couple ideas because we made like a different prototype that actually fit into the displays themselves. So then one of the first shows we were at with that, ran into JD, got talking with him, and he came up, we talked some suggestions, and that's where it came to sit on the display versus being like into the side of the display. And then once we got the prototype down, looked at machining costs and all the material costs, and then that's where we came up with the $200 price tag. It's expensive, and I know, there's it's hard to justify to spend $200 on a light. You understand, I'm
yes,
sure.
I understand.
So we didn't really think that they would sell. So we made them for ourselves, had them at the show, like Tinley, we brought them here, and people came up, where'd you get the lights? Well, we made them, and we started talking pricing and all that other stuff with the people, and they didn't even bat an eye at it. So then it just exploded, it just took off. Very surprised.
Big part. If it doesn't look good, it's not gonna.
Right, and we wanted it to disappear. I didn't want it to take away from the animals. So that's we made it the black.
Yeah.
So and then the lighting. So then you come up, you see all you see is the animals. You don't have the lights hanging in your face. You don't have anything blocking the contact for the person. The interaction with you. They turned out great, and they took off. So it
does look good. I can see it sitting right across the way there, and it looks fantastic. In fact, we'll shoot it right from here while we're talking about it. It's like right there. It might as well.
And we were very new at that time, so it also helped us get to know other breeders and other vendors. And just kind of have a reason for another connection. Some of the other breeders came up, then we got to know them, and then that just kind of helped us start to trend more. Get the inquiries for the lights. Then they'd come and ask about snakes. It was a good opportunity that I guess took off.
Yeah, and we're seeing it in action right now. Like, these guys are able to look at the snakes. The lights aren't in their eyes. They're able to talk to John. Right, it's like right at the perfect height. I guess if you were like a really, really short person, issue. But if you're an average height adult, then it's perfect. And then if you're a kid running the booth, you kind of fit right under the line.
That is the bad part, though. If you're underneath and you look up, they're very bright, so it's hard on the eyes.
Kids don't look up.
Yes, right. start seeing spots.
Well, speaking of well-lit snakes, let's check out some of the animals you brought over here. And I know you already said that most of your stuff that you're really excited for, the stuff that is your creme de la creme, is already gone. So you're kind of picking and choosing here between what people haven't already purchased from you.
Yeah, we had a fantastic year last year. And with Morph Market doing a fantastic job as always. I mean, the stuff sells. You put it up, and it's just gone. So, and then vending here at Tinley, March, October, the snakes sold really fast. But one of the things that we have, I guess, is our Freeway project. We got our breeder male from Ozzy as an Orange Dream Freeway male, and this was my first experience with the high intensity version of the Orange Dream. Didn't necessarily know that much about it.
Now the high intensity thing, is that a line bred deal?
So that's what I'm figuring out, is it almost just pops up randomly. So this is your regular Orange Dream Freeway. And then these are clutch mates. So that's your high intensity Orange Dream Freeway.
Oh, there's a substantial difference.
Right. And it came out of the same clutch, so there's no other genetics. Very simple pairing.
Wow. The high intensity is it's higher intensity.
Right.
It definitely cleaned up the pattern. I mean, you see the stripe going down the backside is much more stripy, whereas over here it's quite the opposite.
Yeah, and then just imagine if you got the super Orange Dream with the high intensity, how much nicer, just even crazier that pattern's going to be.
Yeah, wow. Hey, buddies. You're doing a good job. Yeah, that's some good looking stuff. Wow, that is just night and day between the high intensity and non-high intensity. Wow. Could you see this, like, these guys obviously have 400 grams on them, whatever.
Yep.
Could you tell that was the difference like this right out of the egg? Or?
Oh yeah. And the nice thing is they're really keeping their color, especially this one, that it's not losing any of that intensity as it gets bigger.
Is that a trait of the high intensity for it to stripe out so much more versus this?
I don't think so in general. I think that's probably just more something with the Freeway, just an interaction with that.
I love that creamy orange creamsicle, like when you mix the inside of the creamsicle together with the outside of the creamsicle.
Yep.
Orange creamsicle. Yeah, it's got that kind of color to it.
Let's see if these guys are going to behave here. We'll switch it up with these.
Now this one on top here, that's the one that jumped out of me on your table. Everything that's sitting on your table, that one just jumped out of me.
So pastel leopard Freeway. It almost looks like like a midnight storm, like a lightning sky, and it's all lit up.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. I'd love to see. I mean, it's awesome, the color, but I'd also like to see this animal in axanthic. I think just the black and the white, I think, would be fantastic.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's just so much. When the alien heads become so thin and broken, there's a lot going on the snake, and that's wow.
And it's just the pastel version, So you put pastel on top of that.
So leopard Freeway?
Yep.
Yeah, what leopard does the Freeway is really amazing.
Yeah, because leopard can be pretty overpowering with a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
so it's nice.
Freeway also is pretty overpowering.
Yep.
So I think when you put those two together, they balance out perfectly.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the thing that like Justin kind of points out and directs. Like when you have two powerful combos or genetics, you start to put that stuff together, and that's where it's interesting to see which one takes over or how they kind of combined with each other.
Yeah, this blend right here is just gorgeous, dude. Just the way those. So like this would have been a keyhole right here, right on a regular snake, and then just got all the outline of the keyhole got turned into basically a single pinstripe of a line, and just stay up. That's a good shot. Almost like Angolan python. Type of look.
We've had multiple people say that. Yeah. And it's such a simple combo. That's the crazy part. That
essentially three combo,
right.
three, yeah.
Yep.
3 separate alleles or whatever, just 2 on the same. It's 3 separate genes, I guess. There's so many. I don't know what the correct. When I talk about it, I'm like, what's the scientific way to say it? I don't really know.
So then the 2 of them would be on the same locus point. On the same allele type. Yeah. Yep.
I know allelic and stuff, but when I'm talking about like a single trait,
right.
like lesser or pastel or, I mean, we call them genes,
right?
But I don't know.
We're not probably like by a biologist or somebody that's a 4-year degree
credentialed.
Yeah, probably wouldn't appreciate the way we talk about it, but it puts it in plain English for us.
Yeah, definitely does that. They're gorgeous, man.
Thank you.
I know, like you said, it's kind of what you got left from a bunch of good sales over the year, but some nice things. I'm surprised they're left.
The Freeway project is interesting. I think a lot of people are trending the recessive way. Kind of everything double, triple. Trying to get all the recessives together. So now it's just getting this tied in, with the recessive projects.
Yeah, those allelic combos with recessive is and it's just more patience and more time.
Yeah, all about patience and time. Some of that stuff I'm not the greatest at.
Yeah. Well, I think we could all take a little page out of the book of how to be a little more patient.
Right.
That's what this is great for, I think. This hobby, like teaching yourself a little bit of patience.
You have so many ups and downs. Whatever you work so hard to get the animals to size, to pair them, to get a clutch. Just to get the clutch is a task.
Yeah.
And then you got to hit the odds. The eggs got to make it basically the 60 days. Then you got to hit the odds. Then they got to be healthy. Then there's so many things just to get to this.
Totally.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, hey Joe, I'm glad you finally able to come over, sit down, steal you from your booth for a few minutes.
Appreciate it, brother. I love everything you do.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Thank you, Joe, for your time, and thank you guys for watching. As we always do on these, we're going to have a Zoom call with Joe the evening of the day that this video came out. And if you want to come on and have any questions for Joe about how to go from a hobbyist to a full-time business and just get his take on experiences on that side of things, then I would invite you to join in. There's a link in the description if you'd like to join us, and we would love to see you there tonight. And until then, well, if we don't see you there tonight, then we'll see you next week on next videos. But until then, you've been watching Triple B TV. Y'all take care. Next time we come up to Minnesota, we'll
definitely, man. We can harass Dave.
Yes. I always take a teammate in harassing Dave.
Yep. Yeah, we can tag team him.
Awesome, man. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. That was
good stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
Totally.
Yeah.
We usually do a Zoom call. I totally meant to say this before we started.